Hello everybody, this is Scott from SaaS Startup Stories, and it's great to be back after a 2-month break. So excited to get back into it. And today my special guest is Safiya Hassan, who's based in London in the UK. Safiya is the founder of ReadySet Marketing, which is an all-in-one marketing platform built for the modern day marketer and is beta launching in the third quarter of 2021. Welcome to the show, Safiya. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Thank you so much for having me, Scott. I'm really excited to give you more insight into myself and the business. Thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to speak with you today.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. All right, so let's sort of jump back to the beginning and we'll start off with your background and what initially got you interested in starting a SaaS company in the first place.
Yes. Okay. So my history. So in terms of how I got started, I actually founded ReadySet Marketing when I was 19 years old. And initially, I started off wanting to grow the business into an agency, in particular, a marketing agency. So I was working with loads of different local businesses in my area and various different startups and various different small businesses, really, on a variety of different projects, and in particular, around marketing and advertising their products and services. So I started off as a freelance marketing consultant, really. I straight up before that, I took a gap year before uni. So I didn't actually go to uni. And I realized that I wanted to get straight into the world of work. And the hardest way for me to do that possibly was to start my own business. So I kind of threw myself into entrepreneurship and starting my own business, really. It was really insightful for me because I managed to get clients and really build my network as well. As a result of that, I became a member of the Google for Startups Accelerator in London. And so that's a startup accelerator for young founders who are looking to really grow and scale their businesses. So that gave me the first kind of insight into tech. And for me, I really wanted to get myself into the world of tech, but I didn't really know how to do that. And looking at various different kind of solutions in terms of looking. My clients and my customers would always say that they would love to use HubSpot, or they would love to use marketing softwares, but A, they're too complex, B, they're super expensive, out of reach for a lot of the more kind of mid-market, smaller businesses. So I said to myself, okay, well, this is something that I could create. Really, we could build this. Like there's not something out there for the mid-market, for the more kind of smaller SMB businesses, and even for like solo founders and freelancers and small business owners who have no background or insight into marketing. So that's who my customer is. It's that everyday person who wants to build a brand, wants to build a business, and wants to get started with marketing, but isn't quite educated on how to do that and doesn't have the tools and resources to do that as well. So we're creating a very bespoke solution for that less educated and less informed marketer to really help them in that journey. So SaaS kind of fit perfectly with that, being the business model that we wanted to go after, and it being very repeatable and very scalable business model for us, but also be able to really sell that back to the customer in a really accessible and user-friendly experience as well. Kind of forming my passion and experience in marketing with technology, and then packaging it all in a SaaS solution for our customer. So that's how I kind of got started with SaaS. And my experience mainly has been at startups in particular. So I'm very kind of experienced working with startups and working directly with CEOs and founders, and really understanding their pains and problems. So we're addressing that customer. We're really creating that bespoke solution for them.
And what happened to the marketing agency? Did you drop that, or are you still doing that along with the SaaS?
Yes, so the marketing agency currently, we have actually dropped that.
Okay.
And we've gone full into the marketing technology platform.
Yeah.
And the main thing for me was that step, that jump into that. You know, I really feel like, you know, we need to really focus on this now, and it's something that it's definitely is something that you know, we can direct all the investment into, but also allocating a lot of time to it as well. So currently at the moment, the team is myself, founder, and Angel, who is my co-founder, and he actually comes from a technology background himself, working at more kind of larger and established companies. So he's really responsible for our product development, but also product roadmap, and really being able to communicate the needs of our customers to him, and him, you know, being able to create that bespoke solution, and, you know, giving me the insight and information to say, okay, well, this is possible, this is what we could do, and how could we actually create this as a software solution as well.
Nice.
And yeah.
All right. So sort of with the funding, did you borrow VC money to launch the company, or did you bootstrap it instead? Sort of tell us a bit about how you got RSM off the ground.
Yeah, no, definitely. So in the first stages, I always feel like if whatever it is you're starting, if it's a project, if it's a business, you know, the only way you can actually fully believe in it is when you put your own capital into something, right? And being able to like really put your own, you know, money into something. So we have invested about £15,000 into the early kind of research and development work for the business, and essentially bootstrapping that in terms of you know, getting it off the ground really. A lot of it has come from the profits that we've made from the marketing agency as well. So we've just kind of redirected that investment and that capital fully into our new positioning there as well. So yeah, but at the moment we are currently raising a pre-seed round from venture capital investors. So I'm in the process liaising with institutional investors, in particular investors that are based in the kind of more SaaS and MarTech, ad tech space as well. So yes, we are actively looking for investment, but at the moment the main priority for us is to get the beta off the ground, and really prove our value proposition, like really make sure that what we're creating, there's a need for it, and our customer really understands the need for that too, but also be able to really kind of establish that market and find that product market fit really. So yes, that's the kind of like our first kind of priorities at the moment, and investment will help to kind of establish that and help to you know, grow that as well.
For sure. Yeah. All right. So tell me a bit about the ReadySet Marketing product, sort of what exactly it provides to its users.
Yes. So there's three main key functionalities of our product. So the differentiating USPs really. So in terms of what we're creating, it's going to be very data led, and in terms of looking at for current solutions at the moment, they're lacking the educational side in terms of informing customers, you know, how to make the next best move or make a more informed decision with the data that you have. So the work that we're doing is we're creating an integration really with various different marketing platforms and touch points to help you really understand your data and be able to convey your data in a more informed way for the customer. So when you look at our customer, you know, being, you know, less educated or experienced in marketing, or they're like, you know, a solo founder, or they're a small business owner, when we look at that customer, sometimes data is really overwhelming for them, and they often like having a look at information and data, but it's more so they don't know what to do. They don't know what the next step is. They don't know how to make a better, more informed choice and decision. So for us, we're really going to drill down on that education point there, and really helping our customer understand and make more better informed and better educated next step really. So yes, that's the data point. And I think at the moment, as a result of COVID, like consumer sentiment is something that's really been drilled down to a lot of brands and a lot of businesses. You know, being able to understand how your customers are feeling and thinking about topics before you even, you know, launch a campaign or you know, start off with a new marketing initiative. I think that's so powerful. So we want to equip our customers with that information, and the main kind of technologies that will integrate AI and machine learning are going to be huge for us.
Oh, nice.
To help really create that experience for the customer, but also, yeah, be able to really understand how customers are feeling about topics and trends that are specific to you, and yeah, so that's the listening tool that we're developing as well, and then so we were looking to create a more kind of full stack solution, so within that we've got the actually a, yeah, I call it more of an like a search tool really. So there are solutions out there for SEO.
Yes.
And SEO sometimes is super, like, even for me, someone who works in marketing, a lot of the time it's overwhelming. It's an
Yes.
overwhelming you know, requirement for, especially for the more kind of smaller businesses. It's something that's just like far-fetched. They don't really understand it. They don't want to understand it. And then, you know, consulting with someone on SEO consultants are not cheap. They're, you know, quite expensive. You know, for you to get that off the ground, there's a lot of time that you need to allocate, a lot of resource that you need to allocate. And yeah, so being able to create a simple solution, a dashboard that will help to analyze various different metrics for a customer based on their positioning and their domain authority and their digital footprint, really. And being able to give them and sell that information back to the customer and help them make a better, more informed decision as well. But
Excellent.
also looking at how competitors are ranking, and you know, what they're doing online and how they're, you know, performing against you.
Okay.
And yeah, so those are like the three kind of, in terms of our MVP, that's the three focuses for us at the moment. But you know, the goal is to create a marketing powerhouse, really,
Yeah.
and you know, really kind of, yeah, grow an engine or marketing powerhouse for businesses, so that we can create a really simple and like one toolkit for everything.
And I can tell you're pretty excited about it too.
Yeah, no, I'm like literally so excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I'm super excited because, like, coming from, I feel like I'm the customer myself,
Yes.
and being able to create that, like, create that for people, you know, like me. It's like, okay, well, this is great. It's gonna, like, this would make my life a lot more easier, and I'm sure it would make a lot more people's lives a lot more easier too. So yeah, so being so close to the pain and the problem that our customers are feeling, and being able to read that, yeah, I think that's what excites me for sure.
Excellent. All right. So do you have sort of like a product roadmap for the next 12 to 18 months?
Sorry, I just sipped a cup of coffee there. Yeah, so we do. I'd kind of stretch it. So the way we're moving right now is more lean. So we're looking to obviously get the MVP out. That's our main focus for the rest of 2021 really. So we're looking to hopefully launch that by the end of Q3. So September this year.
Okay, perfect. So what would you say your most successful customer acquisition channels, and how did you find them?
Yes, for us, the main kind of channels for us would be LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is obviously a great platform for the more kind of professional and B2B audience that we're looking to go after.
Yeah.
So in terms of our kind of go-to-market, the platforms we're looking to, you know, market our products and services, LinkedIn's going to be a huge opportunity for us. But also looking at the more kind of consumer platforms too. So Instagram in particular is something that we're looking to grow, and really be able to really, because our customers are more so so we're marketing to businesses, but our businesses market to consumers. So they'll be on Facebook, they'll be on Instagram,
Mm.
and on the more kind of consumer facing platforms too.
Yeah.
But yes, I think LinkedIn and Instagram in particular are going to be our two main social channels. But also, I think for us, it'll be interesting to see how we actually, what's the best way we actually go to actually acquire these customers.
Mm.
And I think in particular, like I'm a bit wary of, coming from marketing. I know that, when you're marketing new SaaS products in particular, I think for us it's going to be, really interesting to see if we can actually use these platforms to acquire customers as well. Scott, I'm so sorry. I just need to take this call. Is that okay?
Okay. Oh. Okay, so just wondering, what are your most successful customer acquisition channels, and how did you find them?
Yeah, so for us, the main channels for us are LinkedIn and Instagram. When looking at our social media acquisition channels, really. And yes, that's where our customers are, that's where they hang out. And for us, the strategy that we're looking to go after in terms of our go-to-market strategy is really being able to communicate our value and our benefits really to our customer, and make sure that we're being able to really win them over against our competitors, but also give them that information that they need to really understand why they should join us, or why they should they need this. It's not, we're not creating something that is completely new. It's still very much been done. Digital marketing is very established industry, very close to technology. It's not a new product or service that we're creating. So we're not educating a totally uninformed and uneducated audience. It's just being able to really communicate our value and our value proposition to that customer, and be able to win them over, and help them take that next step really. So I think in terms of us being able to communicate that, it'd be I think LinkedIn is going to be a huge channel for us, like I said, and Instagram in particular. And for me, I believe that in B2B marketing, it doesn't have to always be as boring as everyone thinks it is. Like, being able to get personality out there and faces and people connect with people. Doesn't matter if you work in B2B or if you work in B2C. So for us, our kind of brand, what really stands us out is our brand. We're different, we're edgy, we're trendy, but we're also very commercial too, and very business-like as well. And being able to have that mix, the blend of the two, is really what is going to be able to set us apart from our competitors.
Okay, nice. All right, so then on the flip side, how do you approach reducing churn and retaining paying customers?
Yeah, so churn is something that a lot of SaaS businesses do struggle with.
Absolutely,
it's the God-fearing thing. But for us, I think for us, looking at what we've forecasted, the way we're going to be able to retain customers is to not think of our users and our customers in terms of a quantity, but more so a quality. Being able to nurture them and being able to really help them kind of stay with us and stick with us and believe in us as well. I think a lot of SaaS businesses and a lot of businesses, when they get too large, it's more like, how can we grow, how can we get there faster? But I think the key is in really looking at your first 10 customers, and not thinking about how you're going to get your next 10 customers, but thinking about how you're going to keep these 10 customers.
Exactly.
Because the devils only get bigger, right? When you get 100 customers, you then want more customers, but you might lose 100 customers, and you don't want to get into this constant cycle of getting customers, losing customers, getting
That's right.
customers,
Yeah.
losing.
Disaster.
So I think exactly. So the key for us is to really be able to look at it from more of a quality perspective than quantity, and be able to really equip our customers with the time that they need, and the ability that they can reach out to us, and we've got that relationship building too with them. So yeah.
Have you
So
got
that's how combat churn.
Yeah. So have you got like customer support set up yet, or is that sort of something you're looking at?
Yeah, so we're looking to for the time being, we're looking to actually, so in terms of where the investment's going to be allocated, customer success is going to be a huge area for us.
Yeah.
Being a SaaS business, we definitely need to have a customer success department or team, or something allocated to that. So I think a huge amount of the investment is going to go into that region and that area, but also in terms of being able to create that two-street road for our customers, so that they can they know that we're not just a self-service SaaS business where they can go online and they can purchase our software and they disappear. They can actually reach out to us, and they can actually speak to a human at the end of the line, whether that's live chat or giving them a phone call, giving us a phone call, whatever it is. Really being able to make that really easy for our customer is what is going to definitely separate us out from our competition.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So from your experience, what are the most common mistakes that inexperienced SaaS founders make, in your opinion?
Yeah. I think from my perspective, let me just have a little bit of think of that. I think in particular, talking about churn and customer acquisition cost in particular, two kind of scary things for SaaS businesses, because you could, because honestly, like, churn could take over your business. It's a bit like a disease, isn't it? It could just take over your business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also, having very high customer acquisition costs can also take over your business as well. And I think a lot of SaaS businesses, looking at in particular at the moment, I think it's more so being able to, how can you create a this flywheel, right? Like how do you create a self-moving machine in terms of looking at how who's your market, who's your customer, how do you actually acquire these customers, how do you then activate these customers, retain these customers, educate these customers, and then have them be your advocates. I think that's like the ideal flywheel, right? But it never really happens like that, and there are things that get in between of this flywheel, and it's more so for I think it's being able to move fast, being able to adapt, and being able to innovate, and being able to really think of what makes you different, and think about how you can continue to innovate and continue to improve. And if things aren't working, to be able to really analyze that and take it on the chin, and tweak and move things quickly as well. And I think that's the beauty of startups, right? Like, you could just wake up and just be like, okay, this isn't working. How can we actually create something that is working, and be able to just switch over and just change.
Pivots are really important. That you change in the right direction, isn't it? So you learn from your mistakes and you pivot in the right direction.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think pivots, I'm not afraid of moving or changing. I think there's a beauty in being able to analyze if things are going right for you, and being able to really be critical of your business, and being the founder. Like, I'm not coming from a subjective standpoint. Like, if something isn't working, it's not going to offend me. It's more so like, how can we actually create something that sticks and resonates with our customer? And background. So like I know the importance of listening to your customer, understanding your market, and yeah, I think, you know, sometimes founders, when they're not from that marketing or sales background, it's a lot harder for them to do that. If they're just techies or just product people, it's a lot harder for them to move into that position.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Fortunately, yeah, quite lucky to have a co-founder who's technical, but me who's a bit more customer facing and has that experience as well.
Okay, nice combination. Cool. All right, so at the moment, what would you say is the single biggest challenge or frustration that you're experiencing right now with growing RSM, ReadySet Marketing?
Yeah. So in the early stages for us, in particular, it being, you know, in the midst of a global pandemic,
Yeah.
for us, it's more so like, how is this the right time to be marketing this? Like, is this the right time to create this? And 100% it is. You know, businesses right now, budgets are being cut. There's a huge argument for cost optimization. You know, the platforms and the technology they're using at the moment is very, very dispersed, and there's a huge argument for utilization and being able to integrate that as well for the businesses too. So for me, it was like, okay, well, we need to get this out ASAP, to validate our solution and validate the market that we're going after as well. So yeah, I think for us at the moment, there haven't really been any kind of key challenges for us at this present moment of time. But I think, I think remote working has made it a bit challenging. So I'm based in London. My co-founder's in Ireland, which is
Okay. Yeah.
like an hour plane journey away. And yes, we're planning to meet up in July, which is going to be interesting because I haven't actually seen him for like about a year and a half.
Okay.
Been working remotely, Zoom calls, Teams calls, Google Meets, Slack, all of that lovely stuff. So yes, I think the main challenge is there is just being able to, you know, when you're thinking of things creatively and collaborating on projects, really, it's like, how can you actually, how do you don't want to lose that creativity or lose that spark. And yeah, I think that's probably been quite challenging, to manage that and oversee that as well. So, you know, once we get the beta out and we launch, I'm sure we will come across loads of different challenges. And yeah, I think we'll welcome them with open arms and see how we can kind of fight and plow through that as well.
Okay, exciting stuff. All right, so what's your favorite business book?
Yes, I'm just gonna go get it. If you don't mind me just leaving you there, I'm gonna go get it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm a bit greedy. I've got two.
Okay.
So have you read this book?
I've read the other one, but I haven't read that one, the Hooked one. No.
Okay, so I think yes, this is it's a business book, but so it's more so on like products and really drilling down and informing people in terms of how you can create a habit forming product and how you can really create something that sticks with your customer and sticks with the market that you're looking to go after. So it's more of a psychology book for me, but yeah, it's really insightful. So it's really helped me to understand how you can drive customer engagement and create products that really resonate and stick with your customer. And yeah, so it's been really helpful for me.
Was it Hooked by, what's the author's name?
Nir Eyal.
Nir Eyal. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So he's a I think he was like ex-employee or investor in PayPal. But yeah, so he wrote this book. So he spent some time in the video gaming and advertising industry, and it's more so like on the psychology behind how big tech firms, big companies like Facebook or Google have created
Okay, interesting.
addictive and sticky products for customers. So yeah, I think there's a lot that people can take from this book.
Cool.
Yeah, great book. And then this is a great book. You've read this, 0 to 1.
0 to 1, yeah. Peter Thiel, he was in PayPal as well, wasn't he? I think.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Facebook, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Really good book. Really insightful. I love it when authors give like actual like case studies and like information that you can look at. But yeah,
good stuff.
Really good.
Excellent. All right. So just to wrap up, where can people go to find out more about ReadySet Marketing?
Yes. So we are on the internet. So if you type in www.readysetmarketing.io, you will find us. That's our website. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you'd be able to find us like that. So if you're a small business owner yourself, or if you're looking to kind of get started with marketing technologies for your businesses, then yeah, don't be shy to reach out to me. Or if you even want to ask me a question or want to learn more or have a chat with me, reach out to me on Safiya@readysetmarketing.io. And yeah, I'd love to have a chat with you. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys.
Excellent. All right, that was brilliant. Thanks for being on the show, Safiya. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much, everyone. And yeah, hope you all have a blessed day.
Okay, bye.